would have been like, bro, I'm fucking cyborg, bro. What do you mean? Like, I'm. Yo, what's good, YouTube family? If you click this link within, you're probably wondering how this guy changed his life within 12 months. Before I get right into that, I want to take you on a backstory of what happened to me before I made this life-changing decision. Now, starting at the ages of like 10 to 12, and I'm gonna make this quick, I was having seizures, and it was because I was playing video games. Now, you remember that I was playing video games, and I was having seizures because of this at 10 to 12 years old, because it's gonna come into later in life. Now, at 10 to 12 years old, I was having seizures, and no one knew why, but I had a lot of them, and then my family finally took me to the hospital. They put a thing onto my head, and it made me look like crazy. They shaved my head, they put some type of machine onto my back, everything. And I went to school like this, guys, and I got made fun of. And I was getting bullied day in and day out. I had this thing on for about a month. And you guys realize that the person I am right now, like, I would have been like, bro, I'm fucking cyborg, bro. What do you mean? Like, I'm part machine. But me back then was like, oh my gosh, no. Like, so many people ask me why I have it on my head, all these different things, and I really didn't know. It was just like, I just had it on because the doctor told me I had to have it on, you know? My like, teachers were calling my parents, all these different things, and then once I got it removed, my parents ended up moving me schools. We ended up moving completely, you know, at that point. We ended up moving, and then I started a new school, and whenever I got to this new school, I made a lot of friends. It was pretty much a life restart, okay? Now, whenever I did this, I moved schools, and I didn't know a lot of people. I didn't know all the things that they were pretty much doing. So it prompted me to fail the next 3 grades. Well, I didn't really fail them. I kind of went to summer school and I made them up. But like, still, guys, I failed 3 times. 6th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, and 7th grade. And then 8th grade year, whenever the second real life thing happened to me. In 8th grade, I lost my mom. And I feel like it's prompted me to do the things that I'm doing now. Changing lives through fitness, striving to become the best version of myself, making sure that people are the best version of themselves, because whenever my family needed it most, no one had the financial structure, no one had the financial freedom, the financial abundance in life, because no one was the best version of themselves. And this was just inevitable. My mom passed away because my family just didn't have money. They couldn't pay for the healthcare. My mom's job pretty much fired her because she wasn't in work for about 4 months. They fired her. She didn't have health care, all these different things. And guys, I want you to realize that this really, really, really hit me in life. Because following this, I was homeless. I was sold for money and crack. I was bullied. I was all these things throughout high school. And from 8th grade, when my mom passed away, I mean, throughout my entire high school, I never failed it ever again. I always had A's and B's, but I was homeless to a point for about a year, and then I got taken in by my best friend. Shout out my boy Tarzan. He was the person that took me in. And guys, I want to just say that, like, surround yourself by people that want to see you win. At that very moment, and I didn't realize, but he wanted to see me win more than he wanted to see himself. He literally argued with his parents day in and day out to have them take me in as their own child. They already had 3, and to take on a 4th child was a lot for them. And all the problems and all the things that I came with made it almost worse for them. But that was not it wasn't a responsibility, but it's just what they did. And I can't thank them enough for it, you know? Now, going to the next part of my story is, remember how I told you I was having seizures because I was playing video games. Now, whenever my mom passed away, I picked up gaming again. And I mean to the extreme. I'm talking about staying up 3 days in a row, going to school, playing video games, and I was just doing this on repeat. And guys, I want you to understand that, like, I literally had seizures, almost put me into a vegetable state. And because I wanted to escape reality, because I wanted to escape my pain, I played video games, I smoked nicotine, I did drugs, I went out and partied, all these different things. And then by the time I graduated high school, life hit me so hard. I moved in with my brother. I was partying from Thursday to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I was playing video games. I was doing all these things that were taking me away from my purpose. I was drinking. I was doing everything that was taking me away from the purpose. I wanted to be jacked, but I was not eating right. I was going out and partying. I was drinking. I was doing everything. I was smoking nicotine. I wanted to be rich, but I was spending time chasing women. I was doing all these different things. Guys, whatever you're doing the most, if it's not producing the best version of yourself, well, then you need to stop it. This is the first step that I did. I stopped nicotine. I stopped going out and partying. I stopped doing all of these things to become and focus on the person that I wanted to become. That's the first thing I did. I stopped everything. Now, why did I stop everything? Well, because it wasn't producing any type of purpose for me. And then the second thing that I did was I set out goals of exactly what I wanted to accomplish long term. Who did I want to become? The third step is to figure out what actions you need to take following that to become that person. Start taking those actions. And guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not gonna be easy. You're gonna be tempted. Like you're gonna want to do bad things. You're gonna want to go out and party and have fun and do all these things. But is it really, really worth someone in your family going through some type of financial situation of life and death and losing them? Is going out and partying worth that? Is it really? Is you knowing that you're supposed to be the black sheep of your family, be the person that's supposed to take your family out of debt, be the most healthiest, to get them in shape, do all these things. You know you're supposed to be doing this, and you would rather go out and party with your friends and have fun and do all these things that are not bringing you closer to your purpose. Guys, I want you to realize that the risk is the reward. If I never took the risk, I would always stay in the position. And even if I failed from taking the risk, I would only become the person that I was. That's the worst case scenario. I was a personal trainer in person before I started doing online personal training. And so if I failed online, what would I do? I would literally just go back to being an in-person trainer. You would just go back to working Cane's. You'd go back to working McDonald's. You would go back to the job that you're working now if you didn't take the risk to become financially free. If you started going to the gym, what's the worst that can happen? You become the person that you are right now. That's what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen if you start changing your diet and you fail? You're just gonna go back to the way you were eating and the way you look right now. So what's the worst that can happen? You end up in the same position that you're in right now. That's the worst decision. And whenever I realized that, that's whenever I was like, life is all about risk. It's all about faith. It's all about putting life first. Being able to actually take the risk. Because so many people are always stuck in such comfortability. And it's what destroys everyone. If I wanted someone to fail, I would give them comfortability of making 10K a month, of making 20K a month, because I know they could do more. Don't place limits on yourself, because once you do, it's all you'll ever become. The sky is the limit. And you're a motherfucking rocket ship. Motherfucking go! Now the first step, guys, remember, the first step was setting goals. Second step, figuring out the actions to achieve those goals. Long term. What actions do you need to take to get jacked? Go to the gym. Start eating your calorie deficit. Start eating more calories. Whatever you gotta do it every single day. And whenever you don't do it, punish yourself for it. That's the most important thing. Self-discipline is so important. Now, the third step. Now, going over the first step. First step is figuring out who he wants to become. Write it down. Take notes of it. Whatever you got to do. Figure out who he wants to become to the teeny tiniest things. Do this, and it's very important. Now, the second thing you need to do is realize where you are right now. You're fat. It's your fault. Take self-accountability. It's the biggest thing you'll do. The third thing is figure out the steps you need to take every single day, or figure out somebody that's done it already and learn from them. What is the steps that they took? And then the third thing, you need to take action. And before you even take action, before you even do this, you need to self-discipline yourself. I'm this person right now, and I don't want to be this person. Well, then I need to discipline you. I need you to wake up at 4:30 a.m. I need you to exercise twice a day. I need you to be doing everything 2 times as harder to get to the position where you do kind of see comfortability. And then make it harder. That's what it's all about, baby. Take the motherfucking risk and let's fucking go.